Hey all, this is Jonathan. I thought I'd do just a simple lesson on some Major 7 voicings, and it seems strange maybe, but I'm just going to pick 5 G Major 7 chords, but it can be really beneficial to see where these are throughout the neck. Sometimes when reading like chord melody jazz, you may need a certain melody note, and maybe that note is way up here somewhere, and it's not accessible from a G Major 7 that you might play down here in 3rd position, etc. Many reasons for seeing these in different positions, sometimes in versions, different inversions. So the first one we're going to play is G Major 7, starting on the low G, 3rd fret. So it would be 6th string, 3rd fret, 4th string, 4th fret, 3rd string, 4th fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret. And the 1st and 5th strings are not used and just need to be muted, and generally your hand will just do that anyway in this shape. Your hand tends to hit the 1st string, and your pointer finger as it reaches over tends to mute the 5th string. So it's a relatively comfortable chord to play. And of course, any of these, if you know where your root is, you can move it up or down and it becomes an A, a G sharp, G, G flat, etc., etc. They're all movable, of course, just like a bar form would be. So the next form of G Major 7 would be, I should point out where the intervals are can be very important for playing variations on these, like if you wanted to add a 6, etc. Or add a 13, add other extensions to the chord. The intervals in this case are root, 7th, 3rd, and 5th. You can think of it as 1735. And often with chords, things are not in perfect order. Like this would be a G Major 7 where everything is in order. Root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Of course, Major 7 chords having root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th. So that's another voicing you can use. And also off of that same root, we can do this. I don't know if you can see that. It's 4th string, 5th fret. And then all the remaining strings, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, in this case, are on the 7th fret. The A and the low A and E are not used. And the intervals there are root, 5th, 7th, and 3rd. I wouldn't normally put my hand like that. I'm just trying to show the chord a little better. It's more comfortable just play it like this. But I get a lot of use out of that, and all these voicings for that matter. Another really common voicing is sort of like the C shape, the bar form of a C chord. But in this case, I often play it. You don't really have to bar the 6th string. You just do it like this. So that's 10th fret, 5th string, 9th fret, 4th string, and all the remaining notes, just like in the previous chord, are on the 7th fret. So that's a nice Major 7 voicing there. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and then you have an extra 3rd on top. Another one more common, you see this all the time, the bar form, off of the same root, but we're just building it in a different pattern here. We have root, 5th, 7th, 3rd, and then another 5th on top. And the notes are, or the intervals I should say, once again, root, 5th, 7th, 3rd, and 5th. So we have 10th fret on the 5th string, 12th fret on the 4th string, 11th fret on the 3rd string, 12th fret, 2nd string, and the 1st string is on the 10th fret again. That doesn't have to be there. All the notes are represented with those 4 inner strings. You can play it that way too. And then one that's maybe lesser used, but you certainly can get a lot of use out of this voicing too. This one is a little different in that it starts with the 5th in the bass. The root is really on the 3rd string, but that is 5th, root, 3rd, and 7th. And again, the reason I'm pointing these things out is you might want to change these things around a little bit. Sorry, it's 4th string, 12th fret, 3rd string, 12th fret, 2nd string, 12th fret, 1st string, 14th fret in this case. So all those were G major 7 chords. And there are more, but for the purpose of this demonstration, that's enough for now. And it's really good to practice these up and down the neck. It seems strange just to play the same chord up and down the neck, but it's extremely beneficial so that when you later play another chord, like maybe an F major 7, if you see the separations between these different voicings, you can immediately see all the other F major 7s, or G major 7s, or A's, etc. And it's just good to play them up and down the neck. And really see those shapes and see how they relate to one another. So when you look at one, you're really seeing all of them. Back to the intervals. With intervals, a good example might be if you know where your 7th is. Let's say you want to play a G major 6 chord. You're going to drop that 7th down a whole step. The rest of the chord's the same. You have a G major 6 chord. So that's why in every case it's really good to see your intervals. And if you haven't looked at intervals on the guitar before or thought about what a 5th looks like, or an octave, or a 7th, or 6th, etc., 3rd, if you don't see those intervals, it's a good place to start, because you could literally build any chord you want. If you understand what intervals belong to a certain chord, like a minor chord would have root, minor 7 chord would have a root, flat 3rd, 5th, and flat 7. If you see your intervals, you could construct these chords, almost on the fly. But again, it's really good to know where those intervals are. So you can add a 9, you can add a 13, you can add all these different intervals. And if you don't know already, just remember that a 2nd, a 4th, and a 6th are really the same notes as a 9th, an 11th, and a 16th. And I'll add a sheet that shows all these voicings and some more at the end of the video. So again, just practice these shapes up and down the neck, and just see them clearly. Just jam on G major 7s, and just observe the separations between them, so that no matter what chord you're on, if you're on a B major 7, you see the next B major 7, etc. And just play the heck out of them. And then you can repeat the same thing with your extensions, or I call them colors. If you want to play a G major 6 in one place, go through, take a whole practice session and just do that. Play all the G major 6 variations and look at that. And of course, like this never ends. The guitar, or any instrument, learning any instrument just never ends. But it's okay to take that time and just soak it up. Learn what all those voicings look like, and jam on them a little bit. Lay down a recording and solo over it for fun, etc. And you could do the same, of course, with the minor 7 inversions, and see what they look like all up and down the neck. And eventually they all look very similar, and you just see the differences, where the minor 7 would have the flatted 3rd. Like here was your major 7, here's your 7th and 3rd, natural 7th and 3rd. Well, in a minor 7 you're going to have a flat 7 and a flat 3rd. So they just drop down. It becomes a real comfortable chord to play, etc. So you can change them into minor 7s, into dominant 7s, and add all those extensions, and yeah, just jam with it and have a good time.